Perfect. All right, guys. Welcome back to The Struggle with Candice Thompson. I am Candice Thompson. This is the quarantine files. So we're still in quarantine. It feels like it's been 8 months and we're still here. We're still here. The Struggle, for my new listeners, is a podcast where I have my friends come on and we talk about things we're struggling with. But since we're all in quarantine, it's kind of the same struggle right now. So we're just going to be riffing and laughing and talking about things that are getting us through with my friends. Loyal listeners, thank you for coming back. Now you can subscribe to the podcast wherever you find your podcasts, also on YouTube, and rate and review us on iTunes. And you can, if you want, go to my website, Jokes by Candice. I'm sorry, it's not my website. My website is Candice. This is how long it's been since I've even looked at my website, and there's no shows on there. So what's the point? Not even gonna say it, guys. It's pointless. Jokes by Candice on social media. And now I'm going to introduce my co-host, Mal Hall.
Hey everybody, I'm back. Unfortunately, you can check out my website. I've updated the photographs. malhall.com. I'm at Malhall on most social media, Malhall TV on YouTube, and just go ahead and unfollow me on all of those if you hate the sound of my voice. Candice, who is our guest today?
I'm so excited to have this lady. She's so funny. We met, was it last year or I feel like 2018 maybe. I don't know. We did some like test pilot thing it was for E, right? The E Network?
Yes.
And I fell in love, and here she is today, the hilarious Sydnee Washington.
Yay, hey. Thank you. Don't we love pilots that never go through?
That don't go anywhere.
Yeah. Good practice.
Yeah.
Well, at least you guys, because I don't even know what the update was with that, because I didn't make it past the audition process, but you were one of the cast members on this show.
Original cast members, and then they swapped me out because I was in another pilot, but that didn't go anywhere either. So it's just like, I love the entertainment industry. It's so humbling and amazing. It makes me a better person. Perfect B.
She's on that other show. She'll be fine.
Yeah. And like, no.
Yeah.
No.
Wait, where can people, before we move on and get into it, where can people find you, Sydnee, online?
Okay, so I'm taking an Instagram break, but catch me on
For how long?
At Just Syd BW. That's JUSTSYD BW. I'm currently on Twitter. Who knows if I'll stay? But you could catch me on Just Syd NYC, JUSTSYD NYC. And I have a podcast called The Unofficial Expert on Forever Dog with Marie Faustin, and it's amazing.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah. Make sure to follow, subscribe, and check that out, guys.
How long are you taking an Instagram break, and why are you taking an Instagram break?
Well, quarantine definitely had me leaning on it a lot more than I was already one of those bitches that have a lot of like lots on their stories.
Yeah.
More than 10, and it's like not even 5 o'clock. It's like, sis, call somebody.
Yeah.
So it was just getting out of control. And then like I was kind of seeing someone, like virtually dating, I don't know. But I just felt like I'm doing too much. And
right.
Then somebody is seeing this and they don't really know me that well. So I was like getting too self-conscious about it. And then everything hit the fan.
Right.
Like, everything with George Floyd just completely destroyed me. And I said, okay, well, I can't see these images anymore. I can't see those. It's not helping me. Let me take a break. And then I realized, I was like, wait, yeah, I need to continue this break because I'm not ready.
Right.
Because there's like this job of ours, besides making people laugh a lot of times for free, is to speak out to your followers, be an activist, do this, do that. And it's like, sis, I just started my meds maybe 5 months ago. Don't put that on me. I am nobody's Martin Luther King. I'm so sorry. I'm not Rosa Parks. I am Sydnee Washington, and I need to take care of myself.
Right.
So, you know, I took a break because I was like, I don't know how to articulate myself in a way that people would not judge what I'm saying. So I went on Twitter. I was like, it's safe here. You repost, you do a little something, and it, you know, it's been good. It's been,
it's
the fact
less.
that I said it's been good at Twitter, that's how you know the world is ending.
Right. Twitter is definitely less personal, you know, since there's you're just on the keyboard, you know, unless you're posting videos on Twitter, which most people don't.
Yeah.
So that totally makes sense. I feel kind of the same way. Like I haven't really verbalized much on my Instagram as far as George Floyd type stuff is concerned, because I don't feel like I'm going to say the right thing or say it correctly or eloquent enough for how I want it to come off. So it's
But don't you guys?
You could say something, but if the worst thing you could do is say something because of pressure.
Right.
To be authentic. It needs to feel like it's coming from a real place.
Totally.
And the people who follow you, who for real fuck with you, they know when you're being, as they would say, two Virgils, keep it two Virgils.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just like, I'd rather be myself than put on. I'm not performative at all.
Exactly.
I'm not even really an actress. Like, you see me in some shit, but like I really can just be myself. I don't play characters. I don't do roles and none of that.
That's the best way.
Yeah.
Well, I have a question for both of you, because we as Black people are talking about the pressure to post stuff. We feel that because it's like, obviously people think that we should be obligated to do that because we're speaking out for our own race. However, I'm curious to hear what you guys think about, like, because we all have white friends, and what were you guys' expectations of your white friends throughout all of this? Because I have noticed for myself, like, there's white people that I know that like have been dead silent about the whole entire thing, and I'm not gonna lie, it made me feel a certain type of way. Like, you can't even, I don't, like we were just talking about, I don't like the pressure, having to feel like you're pressured into doing something, but it did make me wonder, like, wow, is this person secretly racist?
Right.
Or are they just in their own world that they just don't even care that much about what's happening? Not that they're racist, it doesn't affect them, and they just want to keep putting out comedy content because that's what they do specifically. And they, like us, have the same concern of, I don't want to feel like I have to be an activist right now because I'm not an activist.
Right.
I mean, it's like a damned if you do, damned if you don't for a white person. Because I wrote on Twitter, I was like, when 9/11 happened, everybody who knew I was in New York called to see if I was okay. They didn't ask if I was near the site. They just was like, how are you holding up, seeing how it happened in your city? But whenever there's like police brutality or any racial injustice, I hear nothing. I have no check-ins, nothing.
Right.
Interesting.
And I said, it's the same for, it's like, it's not like it's not hundreds of people dying at the same time, but the impact hurts just the same.
Yeah.
Because we see it so frequently.
Right.
And so once I posted that, they was in the DMs, they was sitting down for text, and it's like, okay, I didn't say this for you to tell me, but it's just like, note that.
Yeah.
Note that for the future. But now you hitting me up and it's like, okay, babe, I don't want to like release any guilt off of you right now, because this is not about you.
Right.
It's about everything else that's going on. So it's like, you hit me up, now I'm triggered. You don't hit me up, I'm triggered. Like, at the end of the day, white people can't do anything right now. You can't get out there protest. You're not wearing the right shoes. Why are you wearing Crocs to the protest? Like, there's literally nothing they can do. Oh, they donate money. How much? Oh, $50. That's not enough. Like, it truly is. Hey, I'm mad, and anything you do right now is not going to be satisfying.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like if you're in a relationship with someone you want to break up with, any little thing that they do is like, oh, you fucking breathing? Like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, I hate you.
Everything's annoying. Yeah.
You blinking your eye? Ugh, how dare you?
A lot of my fans are white, and so I received an uncomfortable number of reach outs from them that were just like, are you doing okay? This like, admonishing the acts of the police. And it's like, that was surprising. And I also got a bunch of text messages, but I don't know how, I'm just not equipped with like how to respond to that, to those questions. Like, like with white friends that are like people I love dearly asking me, well, what should I do? Like, I'm not the one to tell you what actions you should take. I don't know. And that's put me in a bunch of uncomfortable situations that I was definitely not prepared for.
Right. You didn't ask me how to do a TikTok, so the same way you learned how to do those dances.
Yeah.
Thing. Like, you're an adult. You're 32 years old. There should be no reason why you're asking me in this day and age what you need to do to be better.
Right.
I went to your wedding 6 years ago. I was the only Black person there. Yeah, you are a problem as well. So like, absolutely, you know what it is. You don't say that you don't see shit, because you see shit.
Exactly.
And you're very particular. So the same way you're really particular about your life, the same way with this, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm dealing with my own stuff.
Yeah.
No, I can't take the time out to explain shit to you. I'm not explaining anything.
Right.
I don't want to explain my emotions because I don't even know how to manage them.
Exactly. And on top of that, it's like, you can't explain your emotions because, like, if you're anything like me, it's like every day it's a different emotion. It's a spectrum. Like, I wake up crying, and then by the end of the day, I'm in a rage. Like, I don't know where I'm going to be. On top of balancing the fact that we all are supposed to be out here making people laugh. Like, and then I'm supposed to be funny in between all of this. It's too much. Did you guys see the, I don't know if you know, I don't think he plays football anymore. His name is Emmanuel Acho. He used to actually date, I know his name even more because he used to date Yvonne Orji from Insecure.
He's
Nigerian. She's Nigerian. Yeah, they used to date. Anyway, he's a former football player. I think he's now an analyst on ESPN.
Okay.
But he put out a video, and it made me feel a certain way.
What's his name?
Emmanuel Acho. And you found him? So he put out a video like a week or two ago after all this stuff started, protesting, everything started happening. And it was a YouTube, it was like a tutorial on how answering white questions. And it got a lot of praise. People love it.
Mm-hmm.
I was not one of those people that loved it.
Why? Tell us why.
Wait, what'd you say?
Tell us why.
Oh, I'll tell you. Oh, yeah. So number one, and I didn't even realize, I was talking to my friend Chinedu, who was also Nigerian, about the video because he actually knows him and Yvonne, and they're all super cool. Anyway,
crazy. He's hot. Sorry, I just wanted to mention.
No, Chinedu is
funny. He's funny, but he's also very hot. It's rude.
It's rude.
As a gay woman in comedy, it's.
I was saying, and you're a lesbian, so you're sitting here and you want to throw your panties at him, and that's how fine Chinedu is. Yeah. So
good to know.
You didn't want to throw your panties at him, Mal, when you did the podcast last time?
Next time I hang out with Chinedu, I'll take a closer look. What's going on?
I'll have him. You guys can take off shirts next time, and we'll compare chests.
I don't think we need to do that.
No, I think we should. I think it has to be done.
I mean,
so, back to the video. Yeah. So the video is, again, like I said, it's a tutorial basically on him posing hypothetical white questions to himself and then answering them so that white people will now be informed on how to behave, or that their questions will be answered. And so Chinedu was the one that pointed this out, and he was like, I really don't like the music in the background, because it was like, like when you're making a happy cooking video and it's like, uplift, like that is the music that was being played in the background, which I didn't even notice until he said it to me, and I was like, yeah, I think that bothered me subconsciously. I wasn't even aware of it, but that bothered me. But just like we were saying, it's like we're dealing with so much that it's like to have to handhold, and to now, like, one of the questions he asked himself was, to my white people who ask me, why can't they say the N-word? No, that's not a question anymore. That's not, if you have to answer that question.
Not anymore. I'm not acknowledging it.
Yeah.
We're not even going to talk about it, period. It's done.
I mean, it hasn't needed to be said for like decades.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
It's just, yeah.
Exactly. And so that to me, it was kind of, and also what bothered me was just like the tone of it, like the hand-holdy, I'm gonna take this time out of my day. And then on top of that, it was like, now I feel like this is, because his platform is so big, it's like, now I feel like white people are gonna expect all Black people to just have tutorials ready for them. Like, no, make a production on how you need to behave. And
I'm not to make your life easier.
Yeah.
Right? That's just not happening.
yes.
Candice, when can I come by and pick up my packet?
I'm not doing that for anybody. I could barely get up and be there for myself, let alone lift myself up, put on the ring light, okay?
Yeah.
Set up the, like, oh, how I'm gonna do each clip. Like,
Yeah.
no.
Thank you.
I'd rather write a pilot that I know is gonna be trash than do something for these alabasters. No, thank you.
Yeah, so it was just, that's just one more thing that we don't need to be worried about right now. And so, and like when Sydnee and I were talking about it, he was like, well, I think it's meant, the tone of it lets me think that it's meant for like younger people. And I was like, if that's what it was for, then yes. If it's for like teenagers who are sheltered and don't have the exposure to Black people, and maybe they're living in a household with family members who don't expose them to or who are racist, then yes, I could accept that as a tutorial for those young people. But also, a tutorial is not going to change anybody's mind who's in their 30s or higher, if they're already set in their ways about not include, because we know racism is on so many levels we were talking about. It's not just that person that says N-word. Let's talk about the other types of racism that are in the closet, the ones where we're not getting hired for jobs because our names are different, or because they feel like we're inferior mentally. So it's like, I feel like that video, I hope it was meant for younger people, because if it's meant for older people, then that's unacceptable from him.
But we were just talking about it. It's like, first of all, I don't speak Karen fluently. I should be making videos. You guys need to handle your people, and you speak to them the way you understand. Talk to them for like the way that you understand it, so they can get it. Because if I talk to them, it ain't gonna be nice.
Exactly.
It ain't going to be nice, because it's like, if you seen the same visuals that we saw of slavery, the same way we saw the Holocaust and said that was awful, okay, have that same energy. It was terrible. And if you tell me get over slavery, then you're chopped too. You're chopped. I'm not talking to you. I'm not exerting any more energy on this. So it's up to white people. Y'all go protest. You go get tear gas. You go get beat up, whatever, and do the work. Do the work. Let us go. We need to be in the house preserving
healing.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, I haven't gone to any protests because coronavirus is still fucking out there.
If you have asthma.
Yeah, that's number one. And number two, I think it's interesting to watch on the news, like, some of these white people that are going to the protests and getting treated brutally. This is like the very first time, like, you could see it on their faces as it's happening. They're like, wait, hold on. This is not how this is supposed to work.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to watch happen in real time.
Interesting. Honestly, I've been enjoying it. I'm just going to flat out say it is time. It's been 32 years and white people are just now understanding why NWA said fuck the police. It should not have taken that long. It should not have taken, like, if you were listening to what Black people have been saying this whole entire time, you would have been saying fuck the police too, because this is not some, we've been being gaslit this whole entire time. Like, this is on Black people you guys need to pick yourself up by your bootstraps. Stop making excuses for why you can't, why you can't get good jobs, or why you're still on food stamps. Like, it's just, now it's like, it's finally, you're seeing it, and it should not have taken this long.
It's terrorism. It's psychologically, it's terrorism, and it's an actual form of terrorism. So
absolutely,
I cannot deal anymore. And it took me forever to figure out, like, oh, bitch, you got a lot of stuff to unpack from your childhood, like from generations of chaos. And I'm finally trying to work on that, on top of, oh, there's a pandemic, on top of, oh, my career is literally getting rejected left and right. Yeah. On top of that, oh, I'm a gay older woman that also happens to be hot, but not getting fucked enough. And then you want to tell me that my people are just getting shot and killed and on camera with no consequences?
Yep.
Girl, I just, no. I need more medication. I need the meds to be a higher dosage. I need everybody to get out of my face. It's too much. Mm-hmm. Literally, it's obvious I need to talk to my therapist today. But my session is later tonight, so.
Hilarious.
I should have done that before this. Sorry.
No, girl, remember, comedy is our therapy. It does help. And think of that too, is like, that also got taken away from us. Like, normally when we would have voices to be able to talk about what's happening to us and at least find some way to make it, mitigate it by having that voice, it's been taken away from us. Like, that's what we do when stuff like this happens, is like, we are not only trapped in our houses with nobody here to listen to us or to help us. It's just layers. It's like a parfait of just fuck shit happening right now.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that I'm not like a deep person, but just my stand-up is just like it's very fun. And, I talk about the things that go on in my life. And at this moment, I'm like, everything I'm talking about is not important enough that trumps, let me post a clip.
Yeah.
While people are out there risking their lives.
Right.
At a time like this, I just think when it's time to get on stage, I got to switch up all my shit.
Right.
Yeah.
I got to start looking in a freaking dictionary and a thesaurus, getting my words up, because this little hee hee ha ha kikis, not enough.
Yeah. Right? I had the same thought. I took like a week off from posting anything, like 10 days. I think I took off because everything I wanted to post just didn't seem like nobody needs to see any of this. Nobody needs this joke. Nobody needs this fucking stupid picture. Like, this has been a very introspective moment for a lot of comedians who take their shit serious. It's like, oh, what am I saying? I need to have something of value that I'm spreading, which is why I love. Did you guys watch Chappelle's thing last night?
Yeah. That's a segue into that. Yeah.
That's why that's such a powerful moment to like watch, like, oh shit, this is how it's supposed to be done, even though we've all known that forever.
Right. I watched this morning, and what I found, I realized that I wanted to see more. Like, but I understand why he didn't give us more. But you can see that it wasn't necessarily funny. Like, there were parts of it. There was two parts of it that were, like he said, that made me like, yeah, out loud.
Yeah.
But that was just him using his platform to just speak and say his feelings, which is what I was trying to get to with like how we can't even perform right now. Like, I can't even say if I were to perform right now, would I be funny? But I would just like to have the outlet to get up there and talk about my feelings. And then if funny stuff came out of that, great. But
that's a privilege for Chappelle to be like, celebrities don't need to speak out. And then it's like, okay, but you're dropping a little special and you're talking.
My feelings exactly.
Here, I'd like you are speaking about it. So you said like you don't want to undermine like the work that the streets are doing, but we got your perspective now, which is great. I want his perspective, but it just felt like, okay, so what is this for? Like,
at the end of the day, he's a comic and he's a narcissist, and so he's gonna want attention. And there's multiple threads throughout where he made it about himself. There's parts where he saying that he was born at that time 8:46, which is the name of the special, which is how many minutes long George Floyd was dying, was for 8 minutes. Yeah. And then with the Kobe part, he then again brought himself into it. So like he wove himself. He's gonna be a comic. He's gonna make it about him, even if there is a message also that needs to be heard throughout.
I mean, all of our acts are about us. So I mean, it wouldn't be a stand-up
for sure.
Without that, I felt like it was almost a powerful lecture from that one professor in college that always had put some sugar in with the medicine, so to say, because there was just some powerful history in there to me, and I think it's he's a voice that is heard and respected by all different colors of people, all different walks of life, and so I think it was awesome, and I think I guess it was kind of hypocritical what he was saying, like, I don't need to be out there talking, and here he is talking. Yeah. But the thing that differentiates Chappelle from any other celebrity that's talking is he wasn't reading off of a script that was then being cut together. It was different. It was more thoughtful.
Right. No, I agree 100%. And I watched a video earlier today. Someone sent me of white actors speaking out. And
the black and white one?
I think so. Yeah, I think it was black and white.
Yeah.
And it was
wild.
White actors.
Wild.
Reading cue cards. Which, I'm not even mad at that because, first of all, they're actors. If they had things to say, they'd be comedians, right?
Right.
So, like, they read scripts to tell them what to say all the time. So that doesn't surprise me. I'm just happy they said something because I expect nothing of them at this point.
But I don't know. I had a problem with that video because it's kind of just like, it's almost like all of the actors in that video, all those white actors just got apart. That's what they were doing. Let me try... Okay, so you want me to show a little bit of feel? I'm disgusted, right? That's my motivation. Okay, cool. Give me the script. Hold on, can I take that again? This is wrong. Wait, hold on. Wrong. Hold on.
Can I get another take? I'm sorry. What's my line?
Yeah.
I am outraged.
Yeah.
I think it's just so sad that like at any moment, Black trauma can be used as like profit and
an opportunity,
and it's like trending, and nobody has any real ties to it. It's kind of like when someone makes a meme, it's like up for grabs. Anybody can use it, and so that's how I feel like what's happening to us, what we're going through, is just like an accessory,
right?
Like, my pain is not a pocketbook, bitch. Like, how dare you? Right? You know? Like, you are not affected by this. You are not waking up like with hopelessness and fear and dread, and a dark cloud is over your head, even if there is good things going on. That's not your life.
Right.
So it's like, just stay away.
Right.
We don't need that. That's not helping. And I wish people were more solution oriented when it comes to what's going on. And that's why I said, like, I can't speak on this the way I properly should be able to. And the people who are doing it, they're equipped for it. And I'm clapping for them. I'm like, yes, it is 7 p.m. every hour of the hour. I'm clapping for those people because they're doing the work. But I can't sit here and give you my take if my shit is all shaky.
Right.
If I'm unstable.
Right. Right. And it's also not, when you're a Black person, it's not just like we're feared for ourselves, you know. It's like we have family members that we're also worried about. Like I think about my nephew who is about to be 22 years old, and I'm just like, he's a young Black man. Like he is a target. Like Black people in general are targets, but we know the cops are threatened by Black men. So they're the ones that have targets on their backs, unfortunately. But speaking to Black women, that was I wanted to get back to Chappelle for a second, because that was my biggest issue with Chappelle's special, was that we shouldn't hear Candace Owens' name more than we hear Breonna Taylor's name. He didn't mention once Breonna. He didn't mention Sandra Bland. And I'm not surprised by this at all. And that's an issue that I've had with Chappelle for a while, is his misogyny. And, you know, I've hung out with Chappelle. I know Chappelle. He's not my friend, but one of my really good friends, Joyelle Johnson, is super cool with him, and like has babysat his kids and shit like that, and has had open conversations with him about his, you know, sexism and how he dismisses Black women.
Yeah.
So yeah, that did bother me. Like we shouldn't, of all the Black women's names you should have said during this special, why was it Candace Owens? And you said it multiple times.
Yeah, the moment you have a minute to make a real impact, especially with acknowledging Black women, you took upon yourself to mention Azealia Banks and Candace Owens, and these are the people who are kind of like the villains in the community. And this is not helpful. It's actually detrimental, because when it's time to mention Black women, it's like, we got to mention the Omarosas of the world.
Exactly. And that's my problem with him. And I would say this to his face, just the same way my friend said it to his face, because even in the special, he said, when he's talking about white women, he said, I support you. I've never heard him say I support Black women. And Chappelle takes on the road. He takes a white chick on the road with him to open for him religiously. And I don't know any Black woman he's taken on the road.
Interesting.
Janelle? No.
I know I think Chris helped Janelle James, and maybe he took, I don't know, but either way, it's not been consistent. Like I do know Chappelle's opener he's had a white woman open for him for a long time now. And if he did take a Black woman, it was maybe sporadically or once or twice, but yeah. And it's bothered me. You know, he's not married to a Black woman. He's not, and I don't think I've ever heard him say anything positive or just in general speaking in a decent light. Why am I fixing my baby hair as I'm saying this? In a decent light about Black women. So that's my biggest problem I have with him, and the biggest problem I had with what I just watched.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, he knows that people are like eating out of the palm of his hand, and he knows how much power he has in comedy and just in the industry, and it's amazing. I'm like very happy for him, but there's just so much that misses the mark. And that's why sometimes it's hard to be a comedian during this time, because if you're going to talk about this topic, you don't want to leave anything out.
You can't, right?
Yeah.
There's an excess pressure to be like, have all your facts, be the voice for so many people. And I don't know if it was intentional or if that's just what happened. That is what, I was not surprised. Let's just put it that way. I was not surprised at all that he didn't mention. And because, you know, I mean, Black women are just being forgotten like regularly, like, and overlooked regularly. And
Black trans women as well.
What'd you say?
Black trans women as well, especially.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're just not, it's not even a thought. Like Breonna Taylor's murder was the most, I would say, heinous. She was in her bed.
Yeah.
People don't even know her name. They're like, who is this? And it's not their fault. And I think I will say part of the problem obviously is that there was no video. Like, who knows what would have happened with George Floyd if there hadn't been video, you know?
We wouldn't have heard about it.
Exactly.
But it's also like, guys, stop saying you need a fucking video, okay? because you're giving the benefit of a doubt of something that has been so consistent. Like when Abner Louima was brutally attacked by the police and they shoved a plunger up his ass. There was no video of that, but we knew it happened.
Right.
It happened. And everything that happened throughout history, there's tons of stuff that we have not seen, but it happened.
Right.
And the energy you have for rape victims, well, actually, it's very similar. It's very similar. Rape victims, it's like hearsay. He say, she say. And it's the same with police brutality. But we see the wounds, we see the scars, there is evidence. Shit don't add up. Right. And it's like, you give the benefit of doubt for so many people in your life, but this stranger that obviously is dead and cannot speak on anything now, it's like, we have to speak on behalf of them. It's like our job. That's like justice. And to give the benefit of the doubt to police who are very protected, right. It's like, what team are you on?
Yeah.
Right. Like, what do they have to do to be arrested and tried as criminals? There's so many movies about how fucked up they are. And so you're like, it's on film. It's on film. Oh, no. This is art. But as soon as you see a movie about Black people, it's like, yes, they are thugs. They are uneducated. This is facts. And it's like, your mind is so skewed. And that's why I don't have time to like explain. I'm not, you know what you're doing.
Did you guys watch John Oliver's police episode from?
No.
It's basically doing a deep dive on police. He does his entire episode is on police, and it's basically outlines all of this shit of like, well, why can't they get prosecuted? And then he breaks down why. Oh, it's because of this and this and this, and this is what reform means. This needs to change to make this change to make this change. And before that could even happen, you have to talk to the police union because the police union needs to change. And it's like, you watch 30, I think the episode is like 33 minutes long, and you're just like, whoa, this shit is fucking hopeless. And I was thinking that watching it as a new father, I'm like, dude, like, this is why. It's like such a helpless feeling when you're just like, well, it's going to take so much to change this much that it's.
Yeah. That's the two words would describe how I felt this whole entire time, is helpless and hopeless. And because you see how deep it goes.
Right.
Like, where to we can't even agree, we can't even get people to agree on what the problem is yet. Like saying like, it's police brutality, but it's like, it's not the problem is white supremacy. That's the problem, because all that police brutality wouldn't necessarily exist if it wasn't all stemming from the fact that we were killing Black people in the streets and brown people in the streets, like as a means of just control and submission and emasculating Black men. And there's layers of why it's been done. But I'm exhausted. I feel like over the past week, I've had to become an abolitionist. Like, I've just been, I'm like, who knew? Like, I guess I could put this on my resume now. Like, this is just, and I had my pocket. I told you, you guys earlier today that I went to Big Bear for the weekend. And now I feel like that was such a nice getaway. Like, I wasn't on social media. I wasn't on Twitter or Instagram. And I was just in my head of this happy space with one of my friends, and we were just high and enjoying one another and just laughing. And I was like, I can't remember the last time I laughed like this. And then I had to come back to this. And I feel like, because I haven't been on social media this much this week because of this past weekend, and now I feel like I'm not performing well enough because I'm not doing what I was doing prior. But I'm like, I can't go back because I was happy. I looked at you guys. I don't know if you guys have like not reminders, but like little notifications on your phone that tell you how much screen time you've been on.
Yeah.
Mine said one of the days it said like 10 hours. I was on my phone.
She's like, what?
No.
Get a life, girl.
No, me too. I'm telling you, when I was having all those notches, the slots on the stories, it was scary. I was like, ooh, babe, you need help. And so, yeah, I want things. I made a post on Instagram. I did like a video and just explaining like, I need to focus on me. Like, I can't do my art. I'm an artist. Like, I have things going on. You know, there's a duty for me to do this, but it's like, I'm losing so much. When am I getting replenished? You know, when, like, who's performing for me?
Right.
So, you know, it's crazy that people worry when you're not on social media. And it's like, people can very much be in a dark place and be posted.
Yeah.
So it's like you're always constantly having to reach out and worry, and just because during this pandemic, I realized like a lot of people were dying, not just of COVID, like of depression and anxiety. And there's like so many Black women that feel like lost, and where do they go from here, and where's their careers, and they're alone, and no one is reaching out enough because we put our careers in front of everything. So it just, there's so much going on that it's like, yeah, I don't want to be another statistic.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that I'm well taken care of emotionally and spiritually. And it's like, fuck all this, you know?
Right.
Because at the end of the day, it's like, none of it matters if you're unhappy or dead.
If you're
Totally.
not exactly. Yeah, no.
And I don't need anybody retweeting my tweets and my death, because grammatical errors down, okay? Grammatical errors, the shit be like not structured right. I don't need anybody screenshotting that and putting that in anybody's little obituary. No. So I need to be here to make sure the right stuff is being said about me.
And this is why I have decided, and this conversation has definitely helped, me and my family are now going to be Amish. The Amish people are the luckiest people in 2020. They don't know that there's police brutality. They don't know about COVID. Yeah, I know. I did see that.
About the police brutality.
Mm-hmm.
You're telling me the Amish, who has no technology,
Yeah,
about what's going on, and you who live on the Upper West Side,
right?
have no idea.
Right.
Get out of my face.
Yeah.
Please.
They rode a horse-drawn buggy to the protest. Yeah! Come on, man.
No Wi-Fi in sight. They don't even have flip phones. Like,
no, they don't have it.
Living the life. This has made me feel, this conversation has made me feel better because, you know, Sydnee, we were talking before we even started recording, like about, I have 2 auditions I had to put myself on self-tape for this weekend, and I have not been in the mood at all. Like, and I feel to the point where I also feel like these submissions are disrespectful. Like, how dare you send these to me right now? Like, you expect me, after everything that's going on right now, to put on a smiley face and also be able to deliver for you? It's disrespectful.
If it ain't an offer, I don't really want to see it.
Yeah, no, I don't know, and it's a conversation I'm going to have with my manager, because I feel like right now I've been trying to figure out, am I just being lazy right now that I don't want to do? Because you're drained. You can't. We cannot. We've been working on E for so long. And the quarantine has made me realize, like, oh shit, I do need to sit the fuck down, or I do need to rest, or I do need to make sure I'm like putting
self-care
together, and just working around the people that are in my life. Like, I need to do better outside of my career. And then you come back and you're like, what does any of this matter? You know, people have dropped specials during the quarantine, and you're like, can you really have joy right now? No. Like,
that's talk about privilege. Like, yeah, the fact that you can even have the mindset where you're still able to perform is a privilege, because it means it's not affecting you that much. It means that it's maybe like adjacent to your world because you know people that it's affecting, but I've been really, what I have been focusing on, so is I have a room in my apartment that an old roommate used to live in, who he's now gone. I kicked him out. I wonder, my one thing about the pandemic that I am hoping is that it will get rid of like the clingers, like all the comics that aren't really comics, that are like who are just taking up stage time, who aren't serious, and just I hope it's gonna. And he's one of those people, on top of just being the worst person I've ever lived with in my whole entire life, just being inconsiderate. So I don't feel bad saying this at all. But I got rid of him.
You got rid of him during the pandemic?
No. I'm not Satan, but I got rid of him in 2018. And so it's been a while now, and I never did anything with his old room, because it's literally like a few months after he moved out, the building got sold, and I was like, I don't want to fix up that room if I have to move out. So I've been leaving it alone. But since the pandemic happened, like over the past like few weeks ago, 3 weeks, I have been fixing it up, because I'd always wanted to turn it into like my studio space, like where I shoot stuff and where I meditate. So that is what I painted it already, and I have like my lights set up. I have a desk, I got a chair and rug coming. So I'm very excited, putting all that energy into that. And I've been online looking, like I'm right now pondering about buying a $300 meditation chair. Because look, meditation's the only thing that's been keeping me sane.
I need to get into meditation.
Girl, it's life changing. I'm telling you right now, there's one thing I would tell everybody that they need to do is meditate. It really puts you, it is like how I went to Big Bear and did shrooms that day that we did shrooms, and it's like that, but you can access that bliss whenever you want. It's inside of you. You just have to sit down, take the time, and you will detach from whatever chaos, the melee of the world that is happening right now. It's like it doesn't even exist. Just get headphones. I use the app Insight Timer, but you can also go on YouTube, and they have just like binaural beats you can listen to, different types of like different frequencies, and it will help to retrain your brain to behave more positively. And it's not bullshit. Like your brain waves actually will change so that you have a more positive outlook during the day. Yeah. Mal, you're Asian. Why don't you know this?
No, I have been doing pranayama, practicing pranayama breathing with my little sister.
Yeah.
And we've been doing that over FaceTime, and it's been some of the most like awesome 7 minutes I've ever had in my life, where I'm just like centered.
Why would you do that more?
I mean, I think I'm just going to get the iTunes of the brainwaves that you said, and I'll just listen to that while.
Just going to download these brainwaves.
Yeah, what's the brainwaves? Let me just get that.
I'm telling you, it's life changing. It's the one. So that's why I do not feel badly, and I think I might go ahead and get that chair, because it is.
Well, what is the chair? How does the chair help you? That's my question.
Okay, I'll tell you. So I have a pillow. I have a meditation pillow, because I sit on the ground.
Right.
The problem with the pillow is that my feet fall asleep, because I sit with my legs crossed, Indian style, which I don't think is politically correct to say anymore.
Native American style.
Native American style, and I am part Native American, but I just have never heard anyone say that. So anyway, my feet would fall asleep because my feet are tucked under me, and I meditate for sometimes up to an hour and a half, and it just there's no back support, and it's just like you have to keep shifting, which is not good for staying in the pocket.
Right.
So the chair has the back support, and just based off reviews, people are saying it's super comfortable. So
it's an ergonomic massage chair.
Did you find it? No, not that one, but I saw that one.
It's just like, is it this?
It's called the Serenity. Look up Serenity meditation chair. And the company Gaia, they do a lot of like yoga mats and GAIA. It's like wicker and
whoa.
That's it. Mm-hmm.
Girl, this $300?
Well, it's like $350 even. Yeah.
Bye.
No, I know. But if it makes I spend so much time meditating that if it helps me be more comfortable, and it will make me happy, which is reason to buy anything right now, is if it makes me happy.
What color are you gonna get?
I don't know. I'm thinking about should I open up a GoFundMe to have people donate to my my meditation chair fund? Yeah, no, I think I want like the the colors in the room. There's so many colors in the room that I could literally do anything and I think it would look fine. But I think I'm leaning towards the cream one with the dark like espresso base.
All right.
Yeah. I hate all of you. I hate both of you.
No, I think it's great. Whatever makes you happy, dude.
That's how I feel right now. That's how I feel. It's like I need to do whatever is going to make me happy right now because there's so few places to find happiness that I need. When it's there, I need to just take it.
I've bought every serum, every like face mask. I have like sheets. I have 2 cats now. Like I'm doing whatever, anything that's like, I got a little plant, like I cook now, just dumb shit.
Yes. No.
Whatever it is.
That is the positive thing that has come out of the pandemic.
Is the cooking?
No, it's just that. It's like it's the slowing down and finding like simple things that make you happy, or simple things that help you just, wind the RPMs back a little bit and just get to a level of calm.
It's like my hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I did the same thing. I've been cooking. I've been baking, which I have a new respect for pastry chefs. Like baking is a beast. I've been doing craftsmanship. I built a raised planter bed out here. Like I've been working with tools and gardening. I'm Amish. I told you guys I'm going to be Amish now from now on.
I think Amish looks good on you. If this is your introduction to Amish,
sold. I'll take it. Well, maybe then after you start doing some more woodworking, you'll be able to compete when Chinedu takes off his shirt.
Yeah, for sure.
that should be a real goal.
Más o menos, yeah.
We have about 4 minutes left and then we can wrap up. But I wanted to, did you get your cats during the pandemic, Sydnee, or did you got them during the pandemic?
Well, see, before the pandemic, me and my ex broke up. And so like right before the pandemic, I like moved out. I had an apartment. I got on meds. I had to go to LA. I was going to go to LA for a month. Everything hit. I was in LA. I come back and I'm like, okay, I got to get my shit together. So I'm working with the apartment, getting things together, trying to be more of an adult. Mm-hmm. And as soon as I was like, oh, I think I can calm down a little bit, my ex is like, yeah, I got to, either you take the cats or I'm giving them away. I don't want them anymore. And we've had them for 5 years.
Oh,
so a little of her tone was like, it made me feel like she didn't think I could take care of the cats. I said, yeah, I'm taking the cats. I got it. Ego.
Wow.
Do I need cats? No. Does my ego say you're going to take those cats and you're going to make sure they live? Yes. So it's literally to prove to her that they're not going to die. And second day, one of them pissed in my couch on my bed. So yeah, there's just a lot of drama going on in my life, and things need to settle. That's all I'm saying. Reverse, bitch, if you can hear me, whatever I did, I'm sorry. I'm legit sorry. I won't do it again.
It is our karma. And it's like, what did I do? But everyone has karma. We've all fucked up. But, you can atone. We can all be better people. One of the good things I will say is if that's helped me is like helping other people.
Yeah.
If you can help other people right now. I know it's difficult because we're also in a pandemic and you don't want to get close to people. But at the same time, it's like, take the focus off of you and to just keep the gratitude, even for like the little things that you have. Things could always be worse. And I always tend to think about that, especially when shit like this is happening. It's like, imagine if you were also homeless on top of this. Imagine if you didn't have family right now. Like things could always be worse. But I appreciate you, Sydnee, for coming on today because this was. I mean, I didn't do the podcast for 2 weeks in a row. I was like, I cannot. I can't. And it's crazy because it's only been 2 weeks, but it feels like it's been.
It feels longer.
Months.
Yeah.
3 months.
It's insanity. So no, thank you.
Back-to-back madness has been 3 months.
It's been nonstop.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I guess technically we didn't even count Kobe. If that's the case,
oh yeah,
it's been madness since January.
That hurt me too. That was definitely.
So
yeah.
Give yourselves a round of applause for just being here today because if you and for listeners, if you pushed a button today, you did something. All right. Don't stop being so hard on yourself, and just be a decent person. Just be a decent person. That's the only thing that Black people have ever asked is just treat us as human beings. And if you're a white person and you want to know what you can do, there you go. There you go.
I mean, it's where we were all
want to be treated.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. We learned that in elementary school very early, and somewhere along the way, some of us abandoned that. But treat people how you want to be treated, and I think that the world would be a perfect place.
Absolutely. And meditate. There we go. All right. One more time, Sydnee, where can people find you and what's your podcast again so people can subscribe?
The Unofficial Expert on Forever Dog Network. It's on, iTunes and Spotify, et cetera. And then I'm on Instagram, JustDidBW, JustSydBW. Twitter, JustDidNYC, JustDNYC.
Yes. Mal?
Mal Hall, MALHALL. Just Google it and you'll find stuff.
Yeah.
All right. No, thanks for seriously, guys. I know this is. Again, I felt the pressure of I was like, I can't take another week off from doing this podcast. But then that's the pressure I feel to have to keep putting out content so people can listen and learn. But at the same time, listeners know that this is not easy for us. Where I'm just trying to get through the day. Right.
Yeah.
So
you can hear the stress in my voice. Yeah, it's not easy.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's like you just said, Candice, it's like try to help somebody and other people are having a difficult time too. And maybe your podcast is their favorite podcast that helps them get through the day. And, podcasts are a huge thing in society right now that people use as their escape. And so regardless of how hard it was for you or for any of us to record this, just think of the benefit that it's giving to, people.
You're right. Thanks, Mal.
Come see me on my farm. I'm going to be on.
Mal's going to be doing garden comedy shows.
You can find me doing my Chinadu body workout.
Well, thanks, guys. This has been a treat. And to all of my listeners and to my guests and to Mal, thank you for being here. And also take care of yourselves, most importantly. And we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Later.
So fun. Thank you.
Thank you for.
Hi, nice to meet you.
This was great. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course.